All right. Malibu Film Festival's films, charity events, and special programs continue to help the arts in your community, and you can help the Malibu Film Festival by becoming a sponsor. You can check them out at MalibuFilmFestival.com and donate at MalibuFilmFestival.com/donate. Okay, we are back for Friday, August the 3rd. I am Joe Carbonetta. I'm joined by Chevelle Devine and Todd Fluker, the usual cast of characters right here on Around Midnight. And we are live, and I'm going to give the number again just so I can get it right this time. 951-356-6882. That is the number to call if you want your voice to be on the air with us tonight.
It's hot in here.
Yes, it is. Because someday they'll fix that air conditioning.
No, they won't.
You don't think so?
No.
We're not that high quality.
They.
You know what we need to do is start a GoFundMe page to get the air conditioning fixed in our studio. Do you think we could do that? Can we set up a GoFundMe page for that?
Oh man, I'm so mad at GoFundMe these days. Everybody's trying to GoFund everything.
Why aren't we getting a piece of that action?
My favorite band is trying to GoFundMe on their new album, and I'm like, can I just buy the album when you make it?
That's essentially what GoFundMe is pre-ordering. De La Soul did the same thing, and it was actually very successful.
Crazy expensive. Campaign. Yeah, the Aquabats are trying to go fund their next album / season of their kids' TV show. And to get the album, like, there's so many levels of rewards. Like, it's like $30, you get a high five, a virtual high five from the Bat Commander. And then you get $50 and you get like a t-shirt. But then to actually get the album you are funding, you have to give at least like $100 and some odd bucks.
Who's going to pay that kind of money for an album?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's part of the situation with the record industry, because you're talking about De La Soul, which is like one of those iconic.
Nobody was talking about De La Soul.
But I was talking about air conditioning. What the heck happened here?
When you're talking about a group that's that big that has to resort to GoFundMe to get something produced because the labels are just not doing it anymore. Labels don't take and do A&R anymore. They want completed albums when you walk in. They just want to do the distribution. So you have to basically bootstrap all of your own productions these days.
Okay. How does that get us air conditioning?
We're going to have to bootstrap it. And by bootstrap, I mean you need to do it.
I think we need to create a GoFundMe page. Still, I mean, what if we could get a whole $5? We could at least buy some ice cubes or something, right?
Ice cubes for the swamp.
I am just saying.
Swamp cooler.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, another interesting topic that was in the news today. And I'm just going to throw this one out to see what the panel has to say about this. They have closed the books on the Las Vegas shooting. That what is basically the worst mass shooting in U.S. history out there. Near the MGM, and we talked about this last week because the MGM was now suing the victims to try and avoid financial liability. Well, the police have closed the book on the case, and they know the who, the how, and the what, but they have basically said they don't know the why, and they're closing up the case and leaving that a big question. The best solution that they could come up with for why this guy did this, they've pretty much ruled out terrorism because they can't find any connections to that, was that he had lost a whole bunch of money in Vegas and he was angry at the casinos. And this was the reason that he went out and shot people up, but they're not even calling that the official reason. It's just some mumbling under, below the table.
You know what this is, man? This is fodder for the conspiracy theorists.
Did you just say fodder again? I thought you said we couldn't say that.
I sure did. Are we allowed to call them conspiracy theorists?
I don't know. Maybe. Hey, it's the fake newsists.
No, that's the real news.
Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. So go ahead. You were saying.
Because I think we're starting to see a lot of the results of some of the social programming that has been going on from covert ops, and I think a lot of these things are just sleepers being triggered.
Wait, you are actually going with the idea that this was a terrorist act?
I think it was a domestic assault in order to push forward a specific agenda. I have no proof of that.
And the agenda would be?
Control. Make people terrified, and then they'll surrender their guns. Nobody should have guns.
People should know.
I thought you were talking about the Janet Jackson song.
The terrorists should know that that doesn't work in American society. It tends to just piss us off, and then we go looking to pick a fight somewhere.
No. it used to piss us off because now, again, this goes back to generational differences, like the immigration thing. Back in the 40s, it's like, yeah, we're going to come here to America and we're going to, you know, everybody's going to be happy and welcome to the company. Of course, then we locked a bunch of them up in Japanese internment camps in California.
Don't forget the Italian Americans got the same treatment. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, they weren't getting it in California. There's more on the East Coast. The same thing is going to happen. The current generation, like, they don't feel that way. It's like, everything's okay. We all just need to hug, and everything's going to be all right. You can feel whatever you want to feel. And
unless you get sick on the subway, then we're just going to drag you off because we want to get home.
It's somebody from the older generation.
Let's talk it out, guys.
I thought that's what we were doing on this show.
Tell me how that makes you feel.
It's making Chevelle's stomach bubbly.
You want some
I don't
Ritalin?
have feelings. Oh, that sounds good.
Some Xanax?
Oh yeah, what's that?
Wait. I thought it wasn't. Isn't marijuana legal now? Why are you trying to pass off all of these expensive drugs when you could get the stuff for
that's how
you grow it in your backyard?
What?
That's how you make money, right? Yes.
What do you work for, Merck or something?
Drugs.
Huh. There was something that happened with the pharmaceutical companies. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know, man. I think that maybe they know more than they're willing to say. I think they know more about this guy than is coming out.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
But the more they dig, the dirtier it gets. Kind of like maybe Russia's involved. Just saying.
Good luck making that one stick.
Just saying.
Even I don't believe that one.
Just saying.
All right.
Yeah,
so
he could barely have a straight face saying it. He's like, maybe Russia?
all right.
Just saying.
Last on tonight's docket, 8 other states have now joined California in attempting to sue the federal government to get them to stop with this idea of allowing these 3D gun plans to be made available. So it's now Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Oregon, Maryland, New York, and the District of Columbia. Washington, D.C. itself has joined in the fight to stop the Trump administration from allowing this stuff to be put out on the internet. They've joined California in this suit.
Hold on. Why are we saying that the Trump administration are the ones allowing this to happen?
Because they are the ones.
It's not like they're like, oh, okay, everybody, here's the documents, go and print them. That's not how this works. They are twisting this story so that you have yet another reason to be pissed at Trump. That's not how this works. Somebody found a way to do this. They released it into the wild, and they want Trump to do what they want him to do, but he won't do it, so they're getting pissed, and they're blaming him. You don't blame somebody for not doing what you want them to do. If they do something wrong, that's something you can hold them accountable for.
You do that all the time.
I'm not the president of the United States. I'm not a congressperson.
Interestingly,
think about this. How do I do that? I don't think I do that. I get mad if you don't do what I want you to do.
I don't think I do that. Do I do that?
What do you think about that?
Did I do that? Anyway, interestingly enough, I don't see this going well for California or any other state. I think if this, and this probably will get litigated all the way to the Supreme Court, but it's freedom of information. It's free speech is what it is.
Cookbook, man.
It is.
Who would have guessed the NRA is pro-guns?
I mean, yeah, we had this information, 35, 40 years ago, the Anarchist Cookbook, the Poor Man's James Bond. Look up any of those books. I'm sure they're available on the internet. They tell you how to make all kinds of nasty things.
And people do.
Now there were
or you can just go to prison. Learn it for free.
You cannot get these books in print anymore unless you can find an old copy, because most companies that print books refused to print them. Because they didn't want the liability. I can understand that, and I mean that's totally
and
their
honestly,
right. But the government didn't tell them they had to stop printing them.
It should be decided.
Yeah,
it should be decided by the free market.
Now, on the other hand, the state of California wants to take this even further. They're not only suing the federal government to stop the plans from getting out there.
Just go to BarnesandNoble.com. You can get yourself a copy.
Assuming that they do.
Is it used?
Assuming that it does get out there, the state of California wants to make it a misdemeanor for you to possess that information.
The documents.
New,
have those documents.
new and used. So there are new copies.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, so California wants to make it a misdemeanor for you to possess those plans and a felony for you to be in possession of one of these plastic weapons. In other words, if you get your hands on the plans and actually make one, they want to turn that into a felony.
I agree with Danielle. She says, why does Trump get so much airplay? Ugh. Seriously.
You actually vocalized the ugh. I like that.
That is the problem with today. And I keep seeing people posting about this, that Trump is literally just
He doesn't have to do
he's
anything.
Wizard of Ozing it up.
He's. I'm sorry. What?
He's like
He's the
has
man
all the
behind the
smoke
curtain.
and mirrors. Yeah, he's creating all this havoc, all this crap going on, and he's tweeting all this stuff every time you think some real news is gonna start poking out.
So I think
He
Trump is
tweets
actually a
something
puppet of the
dumb.
Russians. He's Putin's puppet.
Oh, have mercy.
I mean, it's not true.
I think that's really what it is. I think the Russians did conspire to help Trump get into office
Well,
with
clearly
the
they did.
intention of actually dividing us from the inside out.
They don't have to. We're eating ourselves from the inside out anyway. It happens with every empire, and our time is due.
Wow.
How dare
I bet those guys in the unmarked van are going to be hanging out in front of your house tonight.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. The fact that they have guys with unmarked vans hang out in front of people's houses is a part of the problem.
That's a Trump thing.
I think I would want people to be monitoring someone that says, yeah, I think people should have all the guns they want. Yeah, it's time for this behemoth called America to fall.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I
think
can't do that.
it might be worth looking into that guy.
Well,
I can't argue that. I've got nothing on that.
I
That's
have
probably,
to say-
that's probably true.
On this, on this whole argument here, I completely disagree with California on the idea of blocking this information from being made available. On the other hand, I actually am with them on the idea of making it a felony to be in possession of one of these things because there's no serial numbers on it. They're not traceable. Somebody
And
could make a
who
gun,
cares?
commit a crime, and
Who
nobody would ever know where it
cares?
came from.
Who cares? If there's a serial
I
number.
care when
If
when
find
they
a
break in
person,
my house and
if you find a person who has one of these weapons and they killed somebody, the crime isn't that they have the weapon. The crime is that they killed somebody. I don't care what you kill somebody with.
But the problem is you won't be able to figure out who did it.
If you don't know who did it, it's not going to be because there's no serial number on it. They steal guns all the time. You've got perfectly legal guns and illegal guns out there on the streets all the time. Some being sold by the ATF. I don't think we all forgot about that. So it's not a matter of being able to trace the serial number. Any criminal worth their salt is not going to go down a Walmart, buy a shotgun, and go rob a liquor store.
And yet, California also is trying to push through a law that is going to basically stamp all the bullets with serial numbers so that they can be traced to the gun that fired them.
You can't trace. You can't unless
Wait,
you
how can
only
it
sell
trace it to
bullets
the
with a
gun?
gun.
It has
You
to do
can't that.
with the new weapons actually have something inside them that will stamp this serial number.
You can't on what, the shell?
Interesting.
I guess so. Yeah, on the shell
I
casing.
suppose you could do that. I don't know. I honestly I don't
And
see
the
point.
NRA
This is- I
argued
have a
that
problem
this
with
was a violation of your Second Amendment rights, and they just lost that in court.
I have a problem with
The NRA doesn't
that
like
again
you
is
being
another
tracked.
situation where I think the market can decide. I have a problem with, because this is almost the same as like those enhancement laws where you get a gang enhancement, you get a hate crime enhancement. Crime is crime. You don't need an enhancement. If you can't convict the person of the crime they committed, then you need to reevaluate your court system. You need to reevaluate your law enforcement. Because if a person kills somebody and you know this person killed that person and you've got evidence that supports that, why do you need all the enhancements? We already have laws on the books that say in California, the penalty for death is death. You murder somebody, you're supposed to die. We have a death penalty here.
but
they haven't exercised it, but we have it.
Think about this.
So exercise the law.
Think about this scenario where you have a serial killer who is going around killing random people, and you have no way to tie him together because he's no longer using the same weapon to commit each crime, and you can't tie the crimes together. So you don't even know that it's a serial killer going out.
Is going to be the problem.
Well, it certainly is going to contribute to the problem.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. If you don't know, then by virtue of the fact that you don't know how they're doing it is the problem.
So you're all right with him printing up weapons?
I'm not all right with people printing them up. I just don't think that we need to get. This is literally thought control.
I'm not following you on this
man.
one.
They're trying to. This is not a real issue as far as I'm concerned.
We are so totally going to have to follow this up next Friday night because we are out of time. In fact, we've gone over this evening, and our producers are kind of like screaming at us right now.
Enforce the current law. That's
all right,
all you gotta
we're
do.
going. We're going. Jeez, wow, man, they're really getting angry over there. They're gonna
Just enforce the current law.
Oh, see, look, they're breaking more glasses.
We got to throw that. I am the law. We got to throw that one in.
We don't have that one.
Yeah, you got to get that one. I'm above the law.
Wait, how about this one?
You use that one all the time.
Yeah, that's true. We do. We need another one. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, more Judge Dredd drops is always a good thing.
Okay, we'll have to look for those. This has been Around Midnight, Around 10, and I'm Joe Carbonetta for Todd Fluker, Chevelle Devine, and everybody at Mixified Media Solutions. Thanks for watching tonight. You have a great Friday night. Stay safe out there. Please don't drink and drive. Above all, stay Mixified.
Bye, Felicia.
Around Midnight is a production of Mixified Media Solutions. Mixified is a full-service multimedia production company. From boardroom to broadcast, whatever your production needs, Mixified is your solution. Go to Mixified.com, that's Mixafied, or call 951-356-6882. Mixified Media Solutions.